Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are opening the files on, well, one of the most successful and I'd say strategically calculated career pivots in modern TV history. We're talking about Michael Charles Chiklis.
Yeah, and our mission here, it's really more than just a career look back. We're trying to perform a kind of structural analysis of professional reinvention itself. We're tracking how Chiklis, really through sheer will and just incredible physical dedication, completely shattered the typecasting that had kind of defined his first decade.
Right.
He successfully transforms himself from that friendly, approachable TV commissioner.
Tony Scully.
Tony Scott, yeah, into arguably one of the, vilest yet most acclaimed anti-heroes in prestige drama, Vic Mackey.
It's an amazing jump. So for you, the listener, we're going to meticulously unpack the precise timing and, frankly, the radical nature of that physical and image transformation, how it just reset his entire professional path.
Mm-hmm.
But we also need to look at the strategic thinking behind it all, his surprising sort of double life as a musician, his business ventures with his production company,
right,
and how his deep personal roots maybe served as a kind of anchor through all these intense swings and what roles demanded of him.
And that initial nugget, the core conflict, it really lies in that gap, that chasm between Commissioner Tony Scally on The Commish.
Which was a hit, 5 years.
It's a solid hit, yeah. And then Detective Vic Mackey on FX's The Shield, which was just groundbreaking. This wasn't luck. It wasn't just a lucky break.
No way.
It was a calculated risk.
Yeah.
Executed with, surgical precision.
Yeah.
It's really a masterclass in recognizing that sometimes you have to completely tear down how people see you, your whole professional operating system, basically, to get to that next higher level.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Start right at the beginning. See where this relentless drive came from. Okay, so Chiklis. Born August 30, 1963 in Lowell, Massachusetts. Grew up a bit north of there in Andover. And when you look at his origins, you kind of see that grounding in community, local business.
Mm-hmm.
Very New England,
Oh, totally. His parents provided this foundational environment built on stability.
Mm-hmm.
His mother, Catherine, her maiden name was Vubukas, she worked as a hospital administrative aide.
Mm-hmm. Service organization.
Right. And his father, Charlie, he ran a local hair and beauty salon, which, interestingly, is a setting built on constant chat. Performance, in a way.
Good point.
The sources suggest he might have gotten a lot of that natural performance knack from his mother, actually, connecting that organizational side with the creative impulse.
And the heritage is classic Boston area mix. His dad was second-gen Greek-American, family from Lesbos. His mom was both Greek and Irish. That kind of rich cultural background often has strong storytelling traditions, right? It feels like a good context for his theatrical leanings.
And what's really fascinating here isn't just that he started performing early, but how quickly he seemed to grasp the professional side of it.
Okay.
Age 5, he's doing celebrity impressions for his family.
Yeah. Cute.
Right? But the really remarkable thing, by age 13, he was already a member of Actors Equity, AEA.
13. Wow.
Yeah, and appearing in regional theater, professional gigs.
Okay, let's just pause on that. AEA membership at 13. That's not your average drama club kid.
Not even close.
What does that early professionalization even mean for someone that young? It's more than just acting, right? It implies understanding contracts, union rules.
Working alongside adults, yeah.
Professional expectations.
It signals two things, I think. One, obviously, immense natural talent that the industry recognized early. And two, a kind of psychological separation from his peers. While other kids are maybe focused on school plays, Chiklis is already operating under a professional code, that early, intensive, real-world experience. It gave him this irreplaceable foundation, taught him discipline, adaptability, way before he even got to college.
And you can see how that discipline would be crucial later when he needed to make that massive career shift.
Absolutely, it had to be there.
And he didn't just coast on that early experience either. While he was at Andover High, he played Hawkeye Pierce in A-Esh.
An iconic, complex role.
Right. Shows he was willing to tackle established characters even then.
And then he formalizes it all, which is, the necessary step if you want a sustained career. He went to Boston University College of Fine Arts, got his Bachelor of Fine Arts, his BFA.
So proper training.
Proper, rigorous academic training on top of the practical experience. That's key. The BFA program would have drilled down on technical skills, voice, movement, scene study, dramatic literature.
The toolkit.
Exactly. Giving him the toolkit to handle the really intense emotional and psychological stuff later, like Vic Mackey. Without that technical scaffolding, a radical transition like that, it might just fall apart.
So we've got this performer who's rigorously trained both in the practical, like, union world from age 13 and formally through a top university program. That combination, it really set him apart.
Definitely.
Okay, so armed with that BFA, he does the classic thing. Moves to Brooklyn, New York, ready to launch his career properly.
Mm-hmm.
His challenging debut came pretty quickly, but it was loaded with controversy. Playing his idol, John Belushi, in the 1989 biopic, Wired.
Oh, Wired. Yeah, that was a notoriously tough project. Based on Bob Woodward's book, which was already critical,
Right.
the film itself was just panned by critics, failed miserably at the box office.
Mm-hmm.
The whole production was mired in controversy. A lot of people felt it handled Belushi's death and addiction really poorly, like it was exploiting the tragedy.
Wow. That must have been a huge psychological hurdle for a young actor's first big film role. He's playing his hero, but the project itself is just sinking.
Totally. But here's an early instance of what you might call critical separation.
Okay.
While the movie itself got trashed, Chiklis' performance as Belushi. It was often singled out, praised, recognized as maybe the one good thing in it.
Ah, interesting.
So it showed his talent could kind of shine through even a disaster of a project. That's a powerful lesson to learn early on, right? Trust your skills, even if the ship is going down.
Yeah, definitely. So after that came the necessary grind, right? Guest spots.
Oh, yeah. The dues paying years.
He popped up in almost everything major in the late 80s, early 90s. Miami Vice, BL Stryker, Wise Guy,
The list goes on. L.A. Law.
L.A. Law, Murphy Brown. Even a small but kind of memorable part on Seinfeld. Remember The Stranded? The party episode? He was Steve.
Oh, right. Yeah. He was constantly working, staying visible.
That visibility matters.
Totally. These roles, they teach you how to fit into different show styles quickly, how to make an impact with limited screen time. But the real establishment of his, initial public identity that came with his first big, long-running success.
The commish.
Yep. 5 years as police commissioner Anthony Tony J. Scally. Ran from 91 to 96.
And this is the era that really defines the before picture, the pre-reinvention Chiklis. Scally was written specifically to be friendly, approachable, kind of stocky police commissioner in a small town.
Right. The nice guy procedural lead. Solve problems with charm, conversation, not brute force.
And for 5 years, that image just got cemented. Pudgy and friendly, like the sources say.
That role basically built a very clear typecast ceiling for him. The industry saw him as the reliable, kind-hearted authority figure, which is fine, but limiting. Interestingly, right after the show ended, he took this kind of fascinating, maybe unconventional detour.
What was that?
He replaced Rob Becker in the Broadway one-man show, Defending the Caveman in 1997. Did it from January till it closed in June.
Huh. From a hit network procedural straight to a one-man show on Broadway. Seems kind of counterintuitive if you're trying to build career momentum.
Maybe. Or maybe it speaks to the artist needing something different, a varied, immediate challenge. A one-man show is incredibly demanding. It's pure performance, all on you.
True.
Like a high-wire act. Maybe it was a palate cleanser after 5 years of the same character on TV.
Okay, makes sense. But he wasn't quite ready to shed that comedic image just yet, was he? He played Curly Howard in that 2000 TV movie, The Three Stooges.
Right, which kind of further reinforced that funny, approachable persona.
And then there was that short-lived NBC sitcom, Daddy-O.
Oh, yeah, Daddy-O.
These roles, they seem like they were actively locking him into that nice guy comedy box, which makes the change that came next even more dramatic.
Exactly. The system was trying to keep him where he was, safe and successful. But the moment he finished The Three Stooges, you can see the strategy shifted. He realized that typecasting, while maybe comfortable, was fundamentally limiting his dramatic potential.
The wall was there.
The wall was there, and he decided, okay, I'm going to tear it down.
Okay, this is where the real strategic brilliance of Michael Chiklis just snaps into focus. After playing Curly Howard,
Curly.
he recognized he needed an extreme image overhaul to break through that typecast ceiling.
And this is the moment where, talk becomes action. And you, listening, you really need to appreciate the sheer dedication involved here. This wasn't just like changing his agent or getting new headshots. This was a fundamental physical restructuring.
Right.
With huge support from his wife, Michelle Moran, he started this intense 6-month workout routine. He shed that pudgy image completely and, crucially, shaved his head. Bald.
It's the baldness, isn't it, that makes the visual transformation so utterly profound.
Totally.
Tony Skelly's whole look was thick hair, softer frame. By just ditching both, he literally gave casting directors no visual hook back to his most famous role. It's just brilliant image management.
Peak strategic image management. Absolutely. The result was this physically imposing presence, exuded controlled menace, a universe away from friendly Commissioner Scally.
Worlds apart.
And this physical commitment paid off immediately. He walks into the audition for The Shield, and the creator, Sean Ryan, sees not the guy from the commish,
Wow.
but this raw embodiment of intensity. He apparently won the role of Vic Mackey right there on the spot.
And the role itself. Detective Vic Mackey on FX's The Shield, 2002 to 2008. It was the perfect vehicle for this new image.
Oh, absolutely.
Mackey was like the defining anti-hero of that early wave of prestige cable drama, corrupt cop leading this off-the-books strike team.
Morally complex, terrifyingly good at his job.
But just destroying everything around him, his family, his team, himself.
The contrast is just staggering. Scally was all about mediating conflict externally in his small town.
Yeah.
Mackey was the conflict, deep internal violent conflict in this gritty urban setting.
Yeah.
And making that transition believable. It required an actor with profound dramatic weight, something the public really hadn't seen from him since maybe that early turn in Wired.
Right. The BFA training, the early professional discipline, it all had to come together for him to handle that level of complexity.
Definitely.
And the industry, they recognized the seismic shift instantly. We're talking about that lightning strike, the award sweep of 2002.
Yeah.
It was just undeniable proof that the risk he took paid off. Big time.
The recognition was just
Yellow.
revolutionary, especially for an actor on what was then a pretty fledgling cable network like FX.
Right. Not HBO yet.
Not yet. In that single year, 2002, he gets the Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series.
Huge.
Then he wins the Golden Globe for Best Actor in a TV Drama. And the Television Critics Association Award for Individual Achievement in Drama.
Wow. Emmy, Globe, TCA, all in the same year for the same role. That's basically the industry saying unanimously, okay, this reinvention, it's one of the most successful dramatic pivots we've seen in years.
Decades, maybe. And it wasn't a flash in the pan. He kept that quality up, got more Golden Globes and Satellite Award nominations between 2003 and 2005.
So this new identity, this intensity, it also opened up a whole new genre for him.
Yeah, post-Mackey, he could suddenly be credibly cast as a superhero.
The Thing.
Right. He transitioned straight into film, playing Ben Grimm, The Thing, in Fantastic Four in 2005, and the sequel in 2007.
And what's great here is realizing this wasn't just, a paycheck role. It fulfilled a really deep personal ambition. The sources confirm he was a lifelong comic book fan, apparently had specifically dreamed of playing The Thing.
Which raises an interesting point about maybe strategic rest.
How so?
Well, think about it. Playing Vic Mackey for 7 seasons must have been emotionally, physically draining, perpetual intensity.
Oh, exhausting.
The role of The Thing, while physically demanding with all the makeup and suit, it maybe allowed him to dial back that raw, dramatic intensity a bit. So, was taking a high-profile but partly masked role, a strategic way to kind of rest that intense dramatic muscle without losing visibility.
That's a really sharp analysis. Yeah. It let him capitalize on the star power from the reinvention.
Right.
Without the, soul-crushing weight of Vic Mackey's inner turmoil.
And similar to the Wired experience, actually, he got personal praise for it. Even when the Fantastic Four movies themselves got kind of mixed reviews.
Yeah, they weren't universally loved.
Chiklis was consistently singled out for capturing the real heart and pathos of Ben Grimm under all that rock.
He really did nail that gentle giant vibe.
Totally. And we know he had fun with his duality, too. He parodied both Mackey and Grimm in that Robot Chicken episode, Monsterage, where they accidentally switched places. That's like the ultimate sign, isn't it? His two personas had reached separate, iconic status in pop culture. Enough to be parodied together.
So after cementing himself as this dramatic powerhouse with The Shield and The Thing, Chiklis basically spent the next decade proving how versatile that new image was. Stepping into roles across, pretty much every genre you can think of.
Yeah, that new physical presence, it gave him this gravitas, right? Allowed him to play serious authority figures in big studio movies. Like, remember Eagle Eye in 2008?
The Thriller, yeah.
He played the U.S. Secretary of Defense, George Callister. Believable authority figure.
And he still managed to balance that seriousness with lighter stuff and prestige projects, too. He popped up in the Adam Sandler comedy Hubie Halloween in 2020 as Father Dave.
Right.
And he lent his weight to that huge ensemble in Don't Look Up in 2021 playing Dan Pocketty.
Showing range. And his professional connection with FX, the network that really launched his second act, that continued strategically, too.
How so?
Well, you see him kind of revisit themes from The Shield in Gotham from 2015 to 2017. He played Captain Nathaniel Barnes.
Right, another cop.
Another cop operating in a morally murky universe. And there's this brilliant little nod in there. His character starts a strike force.
Oh, like the strike team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A direct wink to his time on The Shield. It's smart.
It really is. It signals to the audience, like, yeah, I know where it came from. He also did that brief stint on another big FX show, Sons of Anarchy, in 2014.
Right, played Milo, a trucker. Just in the finale and one other episode.
Small part, but significant. Kept him in that darker cable drama world.
Yeah. But, not every dive into that darkness was professionally comfortable for him. There's this really compelling detail about his time on American Horror Story, Freak Show.
Oh, yeah, 2014-2015, he played Del Toledo, the strongman.
Right. And that character had a tremendously difficult, dark storyline. He talked about it pretty candidly with Larry King later.
What did he say?
He called it one of the darkest years of my career. He explained the difference between doing a dork movie where you're in it for maybe 2 intense months.
Right, contained.
And having to, quote, live in that for 6 months for a whole season of a show. He found the material itself, he called it so dark and it was so nasty. Genuinely hard to process.
Wow. That really speaks to the emotional toll, doesn't it?
It really does. It raises that critical question about performance depth and the cost. He put it down to being an empathetic person, saying he inevitably starts to take things on.
And that empathy is exactly what made Vic Mackey, and probably Del Toledo too, so compelling. You felt the weight of their choices.
But sustained empathy for really dark characters. It clearly comes at a high personal price for the actor doing it. Especially over a long serial run. It just highlights the risk involved when you commit that deeply.
Yeah, it's a demanding balance. But his resume shows he could pivot away from that darkness when needed. He led that ABC show No Ordinary Family back in 2010-2011, playing the dad, Jim Powell.
More mainstream.
Yeah, and the CBS crime drama Vegas with Dennis Quaid playing Vincent Savino showed he could still anchor network dramas.
And more recently, he led the series Coyote in 2021 as Ben Clemens, and then delivered that just masterful performance playing Red Auerbach in Winning Time.
Oh, he was fantastic as Auerbach.
Wasn't he? Playing a specific, iconic historical figure like that, known for his voice, his mannerisms, that requires yet another skill set. Precise impersonation layered onto the drama.
Shows the BFA Foundation's still paying off, doing that detailed character work.
Absolutely. And, the physical reinvention didn't just open doors in live action. It also fueled a pretty extensive voice acting portfolio.
Right. He voiced Chihiro's dad, Akio, in the English dub of Miyazaki's Spirited Away.
Which is a classic. Often gets esteemed actors for those dubs.
Yeah.
And voice acting, it's another smart, strategic way to work without that immense physical and emotional drain of roles like Mackey or Del Toledo.
Good point. Less taxing.
Totally. He's done comedy animation, too. Been in 4 episodes of Family Guy's different characters. And then returned to the dramatic comic book world, voicing Slade Wilson, Deathstroke, in Deathstroke, Knights and Dragons.
Playing the main role there.
Yep. And rounding out the comic book stuff, he also voiced Zeus in a few episodes of the new DuckTales.
Huh. Zeus. Okay.
So yeah, he's making sure his talent, his vocal presence, it's felt kind of across the whole media landscape.
So what often provides that critical counterweight, right, to all this professional intensity? It seems to be Chiklis is really robust and deeply nurtured life outside acting. Especially his music and his fans.
Oh, definitely. He's an accomplished musician, specializes in drums and vocals, but also plays guitar and bass. Music seems to be his essential, parallel artistic outlet. Gives him creative satisfaction, totally separate from auditioning or being reviewed or network notes.
Right, his own thing.
His own thing. And early in his career, he was really involved in performing bands around Boston. The Surgeon General, Best Kept Secret, Double Talk.
He didn't just drop that when he got famous either. He actually formalized it. In 2016, September, he released his first solo album called Influence. And this wasn't just some vanity project. He wrote and produced the whole thing himself at his own studio, Extravaganza Music Studio.
See? That confirms it. It's not just a hobby. He clearly sees himself as a serious professional artist across different mediums.
Yeah.
And his band, MCB, they even leveraged their music strategically. They had that single Till I Come Home back in 2011, a tribute to soldiers, which was actually used in his TV show No Ordinary Family.
Oh, cool integration.
Yeah. And they wrote another single, Make Me High, for an indie film called High School in 2010. It shows this savvy understanding of like cross-media promotion, using his acting platform to boost his music.
Smart. And this theme of taking control, it extends to his business side, too. He starred in and produced films through his own production company, Extravaganza.
Right. By producing, he gets more say. He ensures he has some control over the narrative, not just waiting for roles to be offered to him.
Makes sense. And then looking at his personal life, that seems to be the solid bedrock you'd need for such a, volatile professional career.
Absolutely essential, probably. He married Michelle Moran way back in June '92. They have 2 daughters, Autumn, born in '93, and Odessa, born '99.
And here's a fantastic little detail integrating his personal and professional worlds again. His daughter, Autumn. She actually played Vic Mackey's daughter, Cassidy, on The Shield.
No way, really?
Yeah. That level of family collaboration, bringing his own kid into his most defining, intense work. It speaks volumes about how central family is for him.
Wow. That's amazing. The other huge anchor seems to be his connection back to Boston, the whole area, the sports culture.
Oh, yeah. Huge Boston fan.
Fiercely loyal fan of the Red Sox, the Bruins. It's not just casual fandom, right? It seems like part of his identity.
Totally. He was even interviewed for that HBO doc, The Curse of the Bambino.
Right, and he narrated the intro video for the Patriots at Super Bowl XC9s. These connections, they ground him in a world totally separate from Hollywood demands.
That grounding must have been tested, though. There was that incident where he and his wife were victims of a big Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, really tough financial hit, but it provided this painful real-world inspiration for his own production project.
Turning pain into art, sort of.
Exactly. That financial shock drove him to develop a series concept at FX, initially called House of Cards. This is before the Netflix one, obviously. Right. About a massive scam, kind of like the Madoff fraud. And crucially, his plan was to executive produce it, but not star in it.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, confirms that earlier idea. He's strategically focused on controlling the creation of content, not just being the face in front of the camera.
Very smart. And he balances this strategic drive with quite a bit of philanthropic work, too. Shows that empathy isn't just an acting tool for him.
Seems genuine. He's worked with Children's Life Saving Foundation, the Alzheimer's Association, Autism Speaks, the Revlon Run Walk.
Does charity poker, too, right?
Yeah, regularly plays in those Celebrity Texas Hold'em tournaments for Brad Garrett's Maximum Hope charity.
Good stuff.
And we can kind of end on this perfect little detail that sums up his relationship with his 2 main professional personas, Despite playing these complex, dark guys like Mackey and really living through that darkness on AHS, his connection to the pure fun of the comic book world, it stays intact.
Like with The Thing.
Exactly. Back in 2010, it was widely reported he almost never turns down an autograph request from kids when they ask about him being the Thing.
Oh, that's nice.
It just reminds you that underneath all the dramatic weight and the strategic moves, there's still that performer who was doing impressions for his family when he was 5. Hashtag tag out outro.
So what we've really seen today in Michael Chiklis' career, it's not just success rate. It's like a definitive case study in strategic image management.
Absolutely.
He was doing perfectly fine as the friendly, kind of stocky sitcom lead, but he consciously chose to just blow up that comfortable persona through sheer physical, psychological dedication to become one of TV's most celebrated dramatic anti-heroes. He seized control of his own narrative and earned all the awards that came with it.
And the powerful lesson there, I think, for you listening, it's kind of twofold. One, the foundation really matters, that early professional work at 13, the formal BFA training that provided the necessary technical skill, the scaffolding.
Right.
But 2, the strategic risk of the transformation itself. That was the masterstroke.
Yeah.
He didn't just wait for Hollywood to decide he could be dramatic. He physically forced the industry to see him differently.
Yeah, he made them reconsider.
And successfully leveraged that personal transformation into an Emmy, a Golden Globe, iconic status in drama and comic book movies. It's just a compelling blueprint for strategic self-determination in a really tough industry.
It really is.
Which leaves us with a final, maybe provocative thought for you to mull over. We talked about how Chiklis pivoted from comedy to drama to comic book icon. But we focus quite a bit on that severe personal difficulty he described during American Horror Story.
Right, calling it that profoundly dark 6-month period because of his empathy.
Exactly. So when an actor commits that deeply to embodying such, nasty, dark, emotional spaces, especially for long TV runs, what function do those other parts of his life, his music, being a producer, those deep Boston roots, his family, what function do they play? Do they provide the necessary emotional counterweight? grounding the professional self from being overwhelmed by that fictional darkness. How essential are those outside interests, really, for maintaining sanity
Yeah.
and just creative longevity in that kind of demanding career?